Let's take a cylinder this time, and in the edit mode we'll do Control R to give loop cuts. We will give 8 to 10 loop cuts and we'll just bevel them with Control B, a single bevel. And now we'll do extrude along the normals, just like this. Now in order to do extrude of the top face and the bottom face, we again have to do extrude along normals because we directly cannot do it. So we'll just grab the top face and the bottom face and then we'll do extrude along the normals, and we'll grab this handle and we'll pull it so that it will get extruded. And with Alt I'm going to select the ring, both the rings like this, and again I'm going to do extrude along the normals. Now I'm going to select the top face and I'm going to do Shift D and right click so that it will come back on the place, and I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. Now I'm going to move it. After scaling it down, I'm going to move it on the sidelines of this. Basically we are going to create screw sort of things, basically long cylinders around this object. Now again, I to insert, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, I to insert, E to extrude again downwards. So we'll have this small cylinder object. Now with pressing L we can select the entire thing, and it's better we can just move it outside and we can just create the entire thing and then we'll duplicate it. So let me put it to the side, and by pressing the bottom plane I'm going to scale it down. Shift D right click again, and here we are extruding, simple extruding by pressing E. So just make sure that the height of the extrusion is just approximately around the length of the other object that we have. So I'm duplicating the top part of this thing and I'm just rotating it exactly opposite to the top part, and I'm just moving it downwards. So basically it's just positioning of the object. Now once it is there, we can just select all the three thing and we can just join them. So right now there is a gap, we can just move it up. So let's move closer, and either we can extrude it, it's best to extrude just like this. So now these three things we can just select them and just like this, L, L and L, and we can just separate it by pressing P. So now this thing is separated. Now we can individually select. Okay, right now, okay, now it is separated. Looks like I just selected both of them in object mode. We just need to select one of them. So now we can just move this the rod sort of thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to arrange it around this bigger object. So in edit mode we're going to select it, and there is an option of spin tool that we are going to use to just rotate it around this object. Okay, so we're just going to select spin tool, and if I rotate it right now, so you can see there is an issue because our 3D cursor is not in place. So we just have to put our 3D cursor in place. That is, it will act as a center basically. So right now it is in center right now like this, and now if I rotate it, you can see we must first select the object to make it rotate. So like this, I'm just going to press L, and now if I pull this blue handle, so as you can see it is coming around 3D cursor. Our 3D cursor is still not on the place, so we'll just go to the top view and put our 3D cursor in center, and now if we pull, so you can see it is arranging itself in a good manner. But you don't have to be very like particular about it. You will have this operator panel. So let me just pull it again. So you can see the operator panel here. We have angle, we can choose the steps, and we can choose the angle as well. So depending upon your requirement, you can just put the values and it will arrange itself just like this. So this is one of the important modeling tips or techniques that you need to use. Spin tool is going to be very helpful for such cases. So once you do that, you can see you don't have to worry much about it. So let me just do inset and extrude little bit both the planes, so it will have some sort of effect. Let me do extrude along normal so that both will have effect. I to inset again, E to extrude, and E to extrude again little bit, so we'll have this effect. So basically your spin tool game should be good. Okay, spin tool is going to be a game changer for such cases. Now let's move forward, and we're going to go into edit mode again, and let's do some more changes to this thing. I'm going to select few of the planes here at the edge, just few, not many, because I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to create it some sort of let's say stand sort of thing. So we can just box select this gently so that not everything is selected, just this much. So now that we have few planes selected on the edges, and simply we just extrude it with E to extrude, E and Z in Z direction. Now we can just press S, Z and 0 so that our planes that is in circular motion, it will come straight just like this. So S, Z and 0 is the technique. So this is very useful to turn any object which is in this form, and just immediately if you want to turn it to a straight line or in a plane just like this. So S, Z, 0. So the axis was Z because the plane is perpendicular to Z. Okay, so you have to change the axis accordingly. Now let me select the alternate planes, but as you can see it's an odd number, so we are not getting. So we'll select manually. So as you can see, if I even if I do this, we'll just select manually the corner parts and the center two planes, and we're going to extrude it little bit. Again we can scale them, again extrude them. We can in fact, I think this much is enough. Now let me select this plane. I'm going to extrude it little bit more and scale it just like this, and again extrude it, and let me extrude it again little bit, just little bit, and let me scale it right now. Again extrude and scale it. I can even do control B, but it's okay. If I select this entire edge, and now here I can do control B, bevel, and I can increase the cuts so that it will give some sort of smoothness effect. Okay, now this looks good. Now let me select the plane, and I'm going to I to insert, E to extrude inside, again I to insert, and E to extrude outside to give that that sort of plane. Control B for beveling, a very simple single segment beveling. So if you move to object mode, you will see it is looking really good, and we'll be using it in our further projects. So it's a good exercise to keep checking our object in object mode. Okay, this looks good. We can actually join the legs of this thing. Let me tell you how. Let's go to edit mode. I'm going to select this plane and these planes here also, and I'm just going to do right click, loop tools and bridge. So now it is connected. It looks like we can mount it on top of something, and it has a good effect. So I hope you like the lecture. I hope you learned a lot of techniques. See you in the next lecture.